Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
Conceive, believe, achieve. Shut the f*** up.
And new undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world, Michael the Count Bisping.
This is Believe You Me on the Gas Digital Network.
Here we are, second show of the week. Welcome, Believe You Me.
Welcome. Second show of the week. So therefore, we've got nothing to talk about, Lewis. There's nothing happening in the world. There's no fights going on. And quite frankly, I'm sick of talking to you at this point. But, you know,
you fucking love me.
We'll put on a fake facade for the audience.
Bisping texts me probably 12 times a week. Not even exaggerating. Probably at least a dozen times a week. Just, you know, little happenings going on. He's
just curious to your well-being. How you doing? How's life? How's New York? You're not too cold up there right now.
You can play it up all you want, my friend. I know you love me.
It is pouring down with rain here. I know it's probably cold in New York, but it's pissing down with rain. I'm telling you, we're having a proper winter here. It's pissing me off. It's been like this since November now, and now in March. It has rained most days. It is a little cold, not by New York standards, but still a little chilly.
It should remind you of England, though. Brings you back home.
It does, and that's nice. It is, and I did complain for a while, saying, "Oh, I would love some rain and whatnot." But you know, after a little bit, I'm like, okay. I've got a pool there. I'd like to use it at some point.
When do you start swimming in the pool? This is LA weather. People don't even know. I live in New York and I go to LA a lot, but you can't swim now, right? Or
No. Yeah, no, we have heaters. You can turn it on. It takes about a day to heat up. Obviously, a big mass of water, but it's expensive. It's expensive to run the pool heater. And to be honest, you look like a weirdo. Could you imagine the neighbors look over? It's pouring with rain. It's cold. It's overcast. There's a little bit of frost. And the Bispings have got the pool heater on and we're all jumping around like fucking lunatics thinking that we're in Barbados or something. The neighbors would be like, what are they doing? Get a grip.
I would have the hot tub on year round. If I had a hot tub, I would be in it every night, every morning.
No, you wouldn't. We have one. The actual hot tub itself, I think I have used in the 8 years that I've lived in this house, I have used maybe 3 times. Rebecca's walking in with a coffee. Rebecca, how many times have we used the hot tub? Lewis is like, we'll use it every single day if he had one.
Maybe like 5 times.
5. She says 5. 5 times.
Nice. Gotta be nice that life is so good that you can't even bring yourself to bathe yourself in the hot tub. You can't even get there because other amazing things are just catching your eyes and your interest on your way out to the hot tub.
Lewis, I don't know if you know this, but if you bathe in a hot tub, if that's your primary source of bathing, I don't think you're very clean. Like Rebecca takes a bath and then she showers again straight away. Yeah. I don't do that, you know, to get off the dirty water. But yeah, basically hot tubs can be kind of gross. I don't, at my house, I know it's clean and I share it with family members, primarily my wife, but on the few occasions we have done. But hot tubs with strangers are bizarre and the most creepy, weird scenario ever. Especially like if you're on vacation, you're getting in the drinking and so okay, it's a bath with strangers. Fun. This is lovely.
I was on a cruise a few years ago. I did a cruise called Shipwrecked. And in fact, Shannon, pull up a picture of Shipwrecked. This is the cruise that Shannon went on this year. Okay. And it is a heavy metal cruise.
I know all about it.
That it features a lot of what we would consider, the best way to put it, I would say outdated metal bands. So it's not like Slayer or Metallica, who's like a big metal band now. We're talking about like Papa Roach is like the big act on this.
Yeah. And then they still think they're in their prime and they're still trying to outdo it and live that life and be wild and whatnot. Yeah. I bet that's a real pain in the ass, if I'm honest. And honestly, see that maybe to some people, some of the Skankfest crew, they like that. Maybe that looks like fucking hell on earth to me.
It's a little bit.
Number one, I don't like a cruise. Okay. B, if I was, it'd have to be like a nice ocean liner with good restaurants, a gym, things to do. That you've got what looks to be 20,000 skanks in the true sense of the meaning your guys, and also skanks that are pushed together, as in dirty people that shower or bathe in hot tubs.
Yeah.
All squeezed in together, all drinking, getting up to no good. I mean, that part sounds like fun.
They
but,
are.
you know,
They're a dirty. They're smelly metalheads. And the thing is, you're on a cruise where everyone's a little bit dirty. You're on a cruise. The soap, the bar soap in the bathroom sucks. It makes your skin dry. You're just a little bit, you're just kind of scuzzy and cruddy when you're on a cruise. It's not a very clean place to be to begin with. But I got a tattoo. I got a tattoo on my leg, on the back of my leg. Late at night, I was hammered on fucking just.
Oh, you got it while you were on the cruise?
While on the cruise.
Oh, I mean, that's always a good place to get a tattoo. Whilst on a cruise, whilst hammered. Because I'm sure on the cruise, they have some of the best tattoo artists in the world that just happen to be there. And they brought their kit or whatever they use with
Well,
them.
it was they set up a booth. This was actually a really well-known tattoo artist, but that wasn't even the issue with it. This was late at night. 2:00 in the morning, hammered. Yeah, well, check this out. You're not supposed to get a tattoo.
Because you're bathing in hot tubs with skanks.
Well, listen, you're not supposed to get a tattoo when you're drunk because your blood thins out. But then the next day, I remember I was just drunk and they didn't give me any ointment to put on it. So I go back to the hotel room, I go to sleep, wake up at like noon the next day. The tattoo shop on the boat isn't opening until like 4 p.m. So I don't have any ointment. And I decide I'm going to go get in the hot tub. This dirty hot tub with dirty metalheads. Dude, and I'm not even kidding. I got in the hot tub for about 20 minutes. Within an hour, my entire leg was throbbing.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about crazy pain. I couldn't walk. It felt like my leg had to be amputated. I found out later on that I was an hour away from having like a majorly serious infection. But they had to like chase down medics on the boat. They had to find like the people. It was fucking. And the guy who did the tattoo, you can see he was like nervous because he did it drunk while I was on a fucking cruise, which he's not supposed to do.
Yeah, well. I've been there myself. I was actually just looking for the blog part. I had a knee surgery years ago, many knee surgeries, and I came back and they're like, "Don't get it wet." That's the first thing. You can't get it wet. And I think I'd been home, it was 2 days after the surgery. And it's the first time I'd had a surgery on my knee or anything. I thought, it's fine. It's okay.
Precautions.
And it was summer and we just lived there. We had the pool. It was beautiful summer's day and the kids are all playing. So I dive into the pool. And my wife's like, "What are you doing? You can't get the wet." I'm like, what do these doctors know? It's fine. Don't worry about it. And then, within 2-3 days, my leg had swollen up to almost triple the size. And then they drained, like, oh my word, so much disgusting yellow fluid from it. It was kind of gross. But, I just suffer in silence, Lewis, for years, these injuries. I just don't talk about them. You know what I mean?
You don't want to come up
My
with
pets'
excuses.
heads are falling off. And I just, you just roll with it, man. I'm a professional fighter. These are the ups and downs of the journey of said fighter, so take it with a grain of salt.
Listen, we're gonna really get into the show. We do have a great show planned today. A little bit of a shorter show. We're doing 3 shows, I believe, this week, though, so people can't really complain about the shows being a little bit shorter this week. I gotta say, this Sunday night, the Great Hall, Toronto, Mr. Bisping, an evening with Michael Bisping, hosted by yours truly, the Puerto Rican Rattlesnake, Luis J. Gomez. This is coming together, and we're very excited about this. This is the Great Hall in Toronto, 7 p.m. Doors are at 6 p.m. Come out. It's going to be a lot of fun. You guys know what we do. We have dumb sense of humor. We're going to be very silly. This is going to be a really fun time. And you're also a part of this, I think it's pretty cool to be a part of it in this stage because we're working on the show and you get to really be a part of that process, which is super important. We want fans and guys that really, really know this show and love this show to come out and support it. So grab your tickets right now. You can grab tickets right now at Ticketmaster.com, the Great Hall in Toronto. How to promote that just one more time, Mr. Bisping.
No. Well done, Lewis. Last night I did a TV interview on, I don't know if it's Canadian or just a Toronto station. I think it's Canadian Sportsnet. I was on there last night.
Yeah, that's Canadian.
And so they're like, "Oh, okay, we want to get you on, help you promote your show and blah, 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 blah. So you can tell us all about it." And I go on and they're like, "Okay, do you want to go through the questions that we're going to ask you?" I'm like, "Oh, I mean, you can do if you want. I'm not particularly bothered. We're going to talk to you about the John Jones fight. We're going to talk to you about the Tyron Woodley fight. I'm going to talk to you about GSP coming out of retirement." I'm like, "Excuse me?" I said, I'm actually not here to talk about any of that. I will talk about it, no problem.
Yeah.
But the agenda for me here is to promote this show and talk about that. So I'd appreciate if we open with that and then we can segue into other things.
Yeah.
But that's happened a lot over the years. You know what I mean? You get brought on somewhere, you're supposed to talk about something, and they just ignore what you're there for. Like, in fact, these days, it's always Conor McGregor. Everyone asks about Conor McGregor questions. Like just recently, I did like a mini PR tour. We got these UK gyms, UFC UK gyms opening soon, and they wanted me to do some, speak to some reporters in the UK, get some stuff in the newspapers. And all they did was ask me about McGregor. That's all they do. I'm like, hey, listen, A, I'm not here to talk about McGregor or anyone else, and B, the fucking gyms, dog. Let's go. That's what we're here to talk about. Goddamn journalists, Lewis. They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, look, you can't blame them. We go through this every time we do a show. You know, we find ourselves more often than not bringing up a Conor McGregor subject, so it's something that's very tempting to do. And from like a marketing standpoint, they know it's clickable, so they have a quote. Michael Bisping says this about Conor.
Well, exactly, and that's the thing, because generally in the past, because I speak my mind. And I'll say, I'm not controversial for the sake of it, but I'll speak my mind. And sometimes if that point of view that I have is negative to the person in question, then that's a great soundbite. Yeah. But then I've realized, and I've grown now. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. If I want to say something, I'll say it when we're doing this or when I choose to do it. I'm not going to go on some little show or some newspaper article and spit fire about people when there's no fucking need. I'm all about positivity, bro. I don't know if you know this. 2019, it's a new year, new me. I don't drink anymore.
I'm
working out.
Clean and sober.
Yeah, no, that Stella I was drinking last night, that was just using recycling the bottles. Okay, I was recycling the bottles. Water.
Look, you have to keep an image up. Didn't they? What band did that? They would pretend to drink whiskey on stage. Wasn't it like?
Are you serious?
Somebody did that. There was for sure a famous band that would pretend to drink whiskey on stage because they got sober, but they still had to keep up the persona of these fast-paced, partying.
It's like a rapper pretending to go to prison.
Yeah.
Lewis, today, I don't know if you're, for any of our Catholic listeners, it's the first day of Lent.
Ash Wednesday.
Today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was raised Catholic.
But I was raised Catholic also, but I don't follow. I don't practice, so it's not a big deal for me. If it is, then good for you. God bless. But do you know what people should? I don't know where I saw this, but people are always looking for something to give up for Lent, and it's always bullshit. But somebody put on social media, how about you give up plastic for Lent? And I love that. They should. Everybody, I implore you to give up plastic, okay? Because the oceans, they've worked it out. In 30 years' time, Lewis, don't laugh at me. There's going to be more plastic in the ocean than fish. We're destroying the planet, Lewis.
Can I tell you my problem?
The planet. Well, okay, give me your fucking problem.
You get inspired.
Sorry, Lucas. Lucas is in the background playing video games. My bad. He's not even listening.
You get inspired once in a while. I know what happens. You were just online 20 minutes ago. You saw some fucking plastic article. Or some documentary on Netflix. And this happened with pork. Remember a month and a half ago, Michael Bisping was trying to save the pigs? Michael Bisping was trying to get...
I don't eat pigs.
You're lying.
I do not eat pigs. Okay? I don't order pork products.
Please send me a picture of Michael Bisping eating pork with a plastic fork. It would change my life.
Yeah. No. I've consumed a fair bit of pork over my years, and I've killed my fair share of animals when I used to work at a slaughterhouse over the years, So I'm not being a hypocrite. I'm not judging anybody that does, but, little small changes makes the world a better place. And this earth that we are on, Lewis, I don't know how long the earth has been here. I would say hundreds of millions of years, if not billions. And we're just having our time in the sun. The human race is having it, but the way we're going, our time is not numbered. It really is. Because if you think about it, man has been around for, I don't know what, millions of years. But in the last 50 to 100 years, we have destroyed this planet. And if it continues like this for another 100 years, we're going to be fucked and we're going to die out. Just like the dinosaurs had their time, we'll have our time. And then millions and millions of years, the earth will heal itself. And then another civilization, another intelligent species will evolve. And they'll be like, wow. there used to be these things here. We don't know what they were, but they built stuff and they were pretty smart. And that's where we're heading. And it's not going to be my lifetime or James's lifetime or Lucas's lifetime. But, let's try and look after the little planet. So give up fucking plastic for Lent. Okay, stop buying so much shit. Don't use single-use plastic straws, things like that. Starbucks should be ashamed of themselves. They're the worst.
Why would they?
Well, because Starbucks, they're all over the place, right? And they're so busy. You turn up at an airport at 6 a.m., they're fucking lying down for Starbucks. I'm like, wow, you guys are losers.
I enjoy Starbucks, by the way.
I enjoy Starbucks. I know you do. You're quite the little woman when it comes to your Starbucks. You need a latte. You made me wait in traffic. So I know you made me wait outside the Fox Studios for 2 hours for you one time. And the first question you said when you got in the car wasn't an apology. It was, can you take me to Starbucks for a latte?
He's a fucking liar.
I'm like, I've been waiting for 2 hours after a long day at work, and you want me now to ferry you to get a latte. No, doggy. No latte for you.
I think we stopped, by the way. He's a liar on a lot of levels because I did apologize when I got out of the car. I'm very respectful. He fucking acts like I'm this animal. Like, I just go in, like, take me where I gotta fucking go, bitch. Drive me there, motherfucker. Drive me to Vegas. No, I'm as respectful as they come. I have a ton of respect for Mr. Michael Bisping, okay?
Oh,
but
granted.
But I also treat you like an equal. If I want to stop for a latte, I'm not going to pretend I don't want a latte.
Hey, no, fair enough, and that's what I'd expect. Otherwise, this isn't a relationship on equal footing. I would expect you to treat me like an equal. We are equals. We are fellow men. But going back to Starbucks, when you go in Starbucks, particularly the bigger ones, they have this vibe that they are good for the planet, and they're selling their cacao beans, and they're doing all this, and they're charity work and all the rest
Even
of it.
The
but then when you look,
the sleeves and
everything they make it look
like
we're good for the earth, and we're giving back, and we're helping out tribes in India and Africa, and we're doing all this, and it's bollocks. It's bullshit. If you look at the amount of plastic going out of that place constantly, and Starbucks have got to be one of the biggest offenders. Plastic cups, plastic straws. It's insane. I mean, how many coffee cups? Even you ask for a water, you get it in a big plastic cup. McDonald's are the same. McDonald's, Starbucks, place they've got to stop using plastic. And I know everybody listening to this are like, oh, Jesus Christ, Bisping, shut up. I came to hear you two goof about, talk a little bit about MMA and possibly say something embarrassing. We don't want lecturing about plastic, and I get that, but make a change, bro. Make a change.
Yes, Starbucks generates an astronomical amount of waste. Can it stop? Actor Adrian Grenier is leading a movement at Starbucks shareholders meeting to push the company to develop and implement a bold, sustainable packaging goal. Yeah, I guess you're right about this. I don't know, dude, but have you ever drank out of a paper straw? I would rather the earth.
Yes, I have, but it does get a little gross,
dude.
But I don't mind it. I don't mind it.
I'll give up the planet to never have to drink out of a paper straw again. Not even one more time. I can't do it.
I don't mind it. At the end, it depends how you drink your drink. If you're one of those that take a while and you suck on your straw a little bit too long, which looks a little weird.
I get a little
into it. If you're a straw sucking motherfucker, ooh, why are you sucking that straw so lusciously? Take it out your mouth. Stop licking the end of that straw. If that's what you do, yeah. A bit of saliva is going to make it soggy.
It falls apart.
Wants a soggy straw.
Nobody wants a soggy straw, and I don't want a straw to fall apart in my mouth. That's a little disgusting. And then you don't want to be the asshole who pulls out a metal straw or a ceramic straw. You brought your own straw, you fucking dickhead.
I know. I mean, what kind of self-respecting person is carrying their own straw around? I mean, listen, I get it. Good for you. No, it's good for them. They're playing into what I just said. Okay, they're on the same page, but still, there's limits to this. That's just weird behavior. Yeah.
Starbucks, didn't they for a minute? I am almost positive they had an initiative where they were eliminating straws and they were using the cups, the sippy cups. Like they had a mouth opening where you could just sip out of it for all and that would get rid of a ton of stuff. But I go to Starbucks almost every day now and I've not seen them get rid of straws.
No, they're not getting rid of straws.
It says they're planning to phase them out by 2020, that they're doing it slowly.
Yeah, they have to do it in a way. I understand. They have to, they're a big business and they affect a lot of people. So it's good. Overall, you're right. I mean, we want to live in a better world. I just have a hard time on the cellular level, the personal level, making those changes in my life. It's difficult to do, and I'm going to call you out. I'm going to anytime you have a plastic straw in your mouth. I'm calling you out
in our house. In our house now, we don't buy the big bottles of water, which are very, very cheap from Ralph's. You know, I remember once upon a time, bottled water was expensive, but it's very cheap. And we went for a long fairs. You know, we always have bottled water in the house. It's nice if a guest comes over, you say, hey, you want a bottle of water? Especially in California when it's hot most of the time, not like now. But when it's hot, rather than pour them a glass, you give them a bottle. It's cool. It's a nice touch. But now my wife stopped it. Callum's very, very pissed off about it. And it is annoying when you leave and you get in the car and you want to take some water. Then you got to get out. You got to fill up the hydro flask, and then the hydro flask doesn't sit in the drinks holder. Lucas is chiming up in the background. It lasts longer, and it does last longer. You get more water in a hydro
flask.
You
look at that. That's amazing because you see how it's built into him. He's a young kid. This is it's in the way he's learned in school. Talk about it, and that's amazing. I'm not a child. I'm sorry. And it's great. The new generation. Look, proof is in the pudding right there. My kid, your kid, they're gonna save this world. But I'm not drinking out of fucking paper straws. And I'm like,
no, you should drink out of paper straws. Shame on you, honestly. Shame. Shame. I'm serious. That's a serious shame. If I come to the Gas Digital Studios next time and there's an abundance of plastic products that single use only, that I can just see one day a turtle is going to choke on that. I hope you go one day for the first time you have fish and chips, okay, over in jolly old England, and we slice open that fish, and I'm like, hey, my fish is amazing, Lewis. How is it? And they slice it open. There's a dirty, manky old beer crate, you know, with the 6-pack rings or a straw in there. That's what I hope, Lewis. And that's your future. Infected fish. Okay. And what's next? You know, I mean, geez, Louise.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't buy it. I think you're a hypocrite, and I think I'm going to catch you now. I can't wait to see you this weekend because every time you have plastic in your possession, and by the way, this footage, you're just drinking out of a huge plastic cup. I know.
It's not single use, bro.
I know.
It's old use. I've had these for a long time. My wife,
watch your back.
My wife hates them. I call these beakers. What do you call them? What do you call that?
It's a cup. A beaker is for scientific use.
No, I say get me a plastic beaker. A beaker. That's what we call it in England. A beaker.
Anyway, watch your back this weekend because if you are using any sort of plastic, I'm taking a picture of you and I'm posting on social media. And I'm calling you on your hypocrisy because I won't let you do it anymore.
No. Because just recently, because you know, the children here, they get given, they have to do earthquake kits at school. You know, and you know, natural disasters can happen. We're on the San Andreas fault line. You know, you never know. The big earthquake might come one day.
Huge tornado just touched down.
Oh, I know. Did you see? Where was that?
It was it somewhere down south? We should look it up really quick. That's really sad. Yeah. One family lost like 7 family members. That's fucking crazy.
Oh my God. It's Alabama.
I know.
Alabama.
Yeah, Alabama. That's right. Yeah. And then if you look at the devastation it caused, man, I mean, those houses are just utterly and completely flattened and destroyed. It's really, really sad. So heart goes out to anyone out there struggling right now, and obviously to all those people that lost lives. But just going, I mean, look at that. Jesus Christ. Mother Nature's a scary animal. It really is. I mean,
a tornado is such a foreign thing to me that like I wouldn't even take it seriously. And that's what they were saying. I guess they gave a warning with 12 minutes, but they give those warnings a lot. We hear this a lot. Natural flood warning, right? High winds, you'll get a thing on your cell phone. But how often do you even take it seriously? I look at it like, all right, stop making that fucking noise.
Yeah, no. When I was training for GSP, remember I was driving home and there was an Amber Alert. There was an evacuation of Anaheim Hills. That's a city I live in. And as I'm driving up this hill, which takes you into the city, literally there was just hundreds and thousands, a massive row of cars leaving, right? Because there was a mandatory evacuation. Well, I just done a very hard training session. I've done 5-minute rounds. I'm not in the mood to be mandatory evacuated. My wife's like, I'm going to get all the valuables and put them in a box. I walked in. I said, listen, babe, you know how these guys like to overreact. Laid on the couch, took a nap. She fell asleep as well. And we woke up about 2 hours later. I'm like, shit, turn the news on. And it was still escalating.
Are we dead?
Fortunately. Yeah, no, I'm like, fuck, are we on fire? I'm like, no, we're good. And we were the only ones. We stayed. And on top of that, we went to sleep. We both took a nap on the couch.
You're a champion.
So, yeah.
Come on.
You know, that's how
a different spirit.
You're not a normal life, man.
You're not a normal person.
I throw caution to the wind. You know what I mean? I make my own decisions, okay?
You
I don't need
KTLA
title. 5 telling me to fucking evacuate my house. That's right, my house. I'll evacuate when it's time to evacuate.
You'll tell your family when to evacuate. I understand.
Yeah, exactly. And the point of me bringing up all of this was we do have some mandatory stuff you have to do, and the kids have to take in the earthquake kits every year. So like we try and stockpile some stuff in the garage just in case, something happens. There's a mini earthquake, water supply gets cut off. In the summer when it's 110 degrees every day, you need water, you need agua. So I was stockpiling some crates of water. And somehow I took a picture, and there was a couple of crates on the cart, the trolley for the English listeners, in the picture. But I had lectured about the use of plastic, and oh my God, it was perfect time because the amount of shit I got off people. How can you stand there and say that when we can see underneath your trolley there's about 5 fucking crates of water? Hypocrite. And I'm
this
like,
motherfucker made me a ham sandwich last time I was at his house, and I'm not lying. I swear to God, he made me a ham sandwich.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
It was turkey.
Was it?
It was turkey. Turkey cheese, a little bit of chipotle, a little bit of
it was a good sandwich.
Mustard.
It was a good sandwich.
You didn't eat it though, did you?
I most certainly did. Oh no, I didn't. That's right. The last time. Another time you made me a sandwich that I ate. I think you did.
Another time. No. And when you came and you were like Mr. Big Time Athlete and trying to cut weight, I made you sausage and egg, which you just poured at. You just stabbed at it with your fork. Chicken, sausage, and egg. And that's. I just had 2 chicken sausages. They're very nice. They're very delicious. Low in protein. Sorry, high in protein, low in carbs and fats. Chicken sausage. Anyway, let's just take a quick second to hear from our loyal sponsor, BetDSI.com. You know the deal if you listen to the show. BetDSI.com have been around for a long, long time. They've built a history on fast payment of winnings, excellent customer service, easy to use mobile interface. You can bet on games and sporting events as they are happening. And of course, we love the fights on here. Big fight this weekend, Julia Dos Santos, Derek Lewis. That is going to be fireworks. And guess what? It'll make it a better experience. Throwing a few dollars on it. So what you do is you go to betdsi.com, you register first of all, and then you put in the promo code, which the promo code is BYM120. You do all that. You're letting them know that we sent you, which is very, very good and helps us. But you're getting yourself a 60% bonus match. So picture this. You sat at home. It's Saturday night. You log into BetDSI. You use the promo code BYM120. You put $100 down. It becomes $160. And then you win based on the fight picks that I'm going to give you on Saturday. Okay. You're going to be a rich man. Okay. And you're going to enjoy the event. It's going to be so much better by going to betdsi.com, Lewis.
Yeah. And I'll tell you right now, the odds on the fight are Derek Lewis is a plus 185 underdog, Junior Dos Santos minus 235. So that's it. Look, those are really, really sexy odds if you're a Derek Lewis fan. Throw a little cash down. I will say this, just a little bit of a disclaimer. If you opt in for the bonus match, the 60% bonus match, just know there is a rollover period, meaning you have to gamble a certain amount of times with the bonus money before you could actually pull it out of your account. So if you're planning on just doing this once, I would say don't opt in for the bonus match. Just use the promo code BYM120. But if you're going to regularly use BetDSI.com, it's a great promotion to use that bonus cash. But either way, use that promo code BYM120 so they know that we sent you. All right, let's get back into it.
So, all right. What should we talk about? There's a big fight this weekend.
Well, let's save that for Saturday. I think we're going to try to do another show on Saturday. Right? So you want to do a preview of that on Saturday?
Yeah, it's okay. We'll do all that on Saturday then. That's good. That's good. So we're going to try and get some of these questions out of the way. Thank you, everybody, that sends in questions. bympod@gmail.com. Videos. I'm on Twitter. Keep them coming in, please. We do appreciate the interaction. And it stops us waffling on about Lent and plastic bottles. You know what I mean? Steer the conversation to how you want it. What do you want me and Lewis to say? What difficult subjects do you want us to tackle? Yeah, I mean, who knows where this is going to go?
That's the amazing part about us. We're not afraid to talk about the big issues, no matter how big or small they are. We will do it. Okay, we're very brave, this podcast, and I'm very proud of that.
Yes.
All right.
And without further ado, first question.
I was going to
go ahead.
Question. I was going to let you know that I brought my son to jiu-jitsu for the first time.
How terrible was it?
Pull up my Instagram.
How terrible?
He was really good. First of all, he's the youngest kid in his class.
God, you're just such a typical father.
Look, that kid's covered in blood. It's all blood in his face.
I was going to say, what kind of Martian is he training with? Is that the X-Men?
I didn't want to post this kid to like my social
I
media.
know.
My fans are fucking dickheads and they say crazy shit.
Yeah,
so,
they are.
But I'll pull the video too. I put a video of me and him playing around in the
That's
bed.
nice. That's nice. Did he enjoy it? Does he want to go again?
He loves it. He loves it. I'm so excited about this because I never had a dad to like, do things with me. I didn't have a dad to throw a ball around with me. There was no male influence in my life. And, you could tell because I'm a fan of MMA and because I'm a fan of, this sport, he sees that and he sort of wants to be involved too. Lucas,
Great. You put that in, you can hear. So we're talking about James doing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And can you hear him?
Here's him doing it.
This is James doing jiu-jitsu. Press play, Lewis.
Yeah, this is him, me and him on the bed, messing around.
He's got the hooks in there. Yeah, but you're pretty easy to sap.
Yeah, my ground game stinks. Look at this. Look, he missed the armbar. He missed the whole armbar.
Whoa.
He set it up and everything. He transitioned from seatbelt position to armbar. But I didn't even know how to throw a punch until I was 25 years old when I finally took a boxing class for the first time in my entire life. And he's so into like pleasing me. And he just loved it, dude. He really, and it's all like kids that are 7 and 8 years old. He's 6. And he's really fearless.
Lucas, I want you to demonstrate the perfect rear naked choke. Go ahead. Do not come here. Don't let me down. Choke
Let's say
out.
Lucas.
You're pulling my headphones out.
What?
There it is. I fight this, and then what? I fight. We go palm to palm. Oh,
wow!
Yeah, you got the
elbow in the back.
All right, baby.
Yes.
Chop. There it is. You're famous, Lucas. You're a famous fighter. Now, Lucas did it to a former world champion. James was doing it to a 1-0 amateur. So I'm not saying my kid's better than yours.
Well.
But he's kind of better than yours.
Mr. Bisping, I don't, with all due respect, you did, have 2 losses recently. I am undefeated. So I'm not trying to point any fingers here.
Touche.
It is what it is. Who knows? I've never tasted defeat. There's no formula for beating me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that, I'm tougher than you or better than you in any capacity. I'm just saying it's never been done. So it's sort of an unknown thing.
Yeah, the path to victory has not yet become clear. Nobody knows where to take it. They don't know where your weaknesses are. Should we do question 1? Should we see where this is going?
We can. Let's do it. Mr. Harrington, question 1. Are we doing video or are we doing a regular question right now? We're going to do both today. We're going to answer a bunch of questions because we had a bunch that have been built up. We have a bunch of new ones. So figure why not answer some of the fan questions and see where it takes us on today's special edition of the Believe You Me podcast. Make sure you guys subscribe on iTunes really quick. Leave us a 5-star ranking, positive review, and YouTube as well. Every episode we've ever done is available on demand. You get them 24 hours before they go to iTunes or YouTube or anywhere else. Make sure you guys go subscribe at gasdigitalnetwork.com. It supports the show directly. You get uncensored episodes, ad-free episodes as well. A lot of people hate the ads. You get the live chat. We're taking questions from the live chat and more. Use the promo code BYM for a 14-day free trial. You get access to this show plus 19 other shows on the network. Legion of Skanks and the Real Ass Podcast, my other pods included. So check out Gas Digital. All right, where were we?
So I've got one here from Twitter, which comes from Josh Barker. Will Bisping be fighting Masvidal at the O2 Arena car park after UFC London? Well, we've addressed this a lot recently, So I'm not against Masvidal anymore. We spoke about it. I've got no issue with him. I never had. So there
Question.
you go. I don't know.
Would you be willing to have Masvidal on the podcast and try to just have a conversation and see where it would go?
Yes, I would.
We can probably set that up. Who's his manager? Who's his agent? We could probably get that going now.
Yeah, it's John Jones's manager.
Malky Kawa. If you're out there, if you're in,
I don't think they're
George Masvidal's here.
I don't think they're keen on me because I remember, what was it? Oh, Yoel Romero. Well, remember we had Yoel on the radio show and he called into the radio show and then in the end he hung up because we fucked with him pretty hard. Well, I did. Lewis was terrified and he hung up. I was saying to him, listen, Yoel, you can't even speak English. And he's like, I said, spell steroid. Just spell it. Show me you can do it. Come on. I said, I'll even get you started. STER. I was only messing with him, of course. I was kind of a douchey thing to do, but we were competitors at the time.
And also a different thing, by the way. It's not like I think you legitimately want to have a conversation with George Masvidal. You've sort of, extended the olive branch. You've said that, you don't really have a beef with him. So why not Do the pod. I think that'd be great. George Masvidal, I've never pretended to not be a fan of his fighting style, his story, being a backyard fighter. We talked about that last week as well. Incredible story, really interesting to. So I would have. Good.
Hold on. Before we go full on, let's suck his dick. You know what I mean? We don't know how he's going to respond to any of this. So just like, I wish you'd have just withheld what you just said. I'm just saying I don't have a problem. We don't have to big him up massively. Because the response might be a giant, go fuck yourself. Okay?
I don't want to do your shitty podcast.
In which case, right, I go right back to where I was a month ago. Okay? I'm like, this guy now is off the Christmas card list. So yeah, and let's see how he behaves in London, because now that I'm with ESPN and not Fox, when we used to travel to the arenas for Fox always put us up in a separate hotel, a very, very nice 5-star bougie hotel, I might add. Now we're in the UFC hotel. So we're surrounded by all the fighters and stuff like that. So no doubt I'll be seeing him around fight week. So let's just see how, let's see how all that goes. If there's another interaction, if he's trying to start a fight with me in the lobby again, like he did in New York and in Shanghai, and in London, it's like, okay, I think that ship has sailed in terms of, going around to each other's houses. I have a question here, though, from Mario. What do you think is next for Tyron Woodley? Do you think he has a chance of winning the title, seen as the current champ? Pardon me, I'm burping here. Yeah. What's next for Tyron, basically? It's a long question. What's next for Tyron? Well, he says he wants to fight for the belt again, wants to get a rematch based on his resume alone. That isn't happening. Dana has said Colby's happening. I think if you're Tyron, listen, of course, I think it's commendable that he wants to be the champion, and that is the mark of a true champion. Lose your belt and come back and get it again, and so I really respect that mindset. But also, I think it'd be good for his mental space if you just realize one thing, and the one thing is everybody's time in the spotlight comes to an end. You can't, he was a champion for a while, I think 4 years or something, defended the belt a few times. I'm not saying that he can't get the belt back, but for his mental space, no, that this is always temporary. Being in the spotlight, being the world champion, being a rock star, whatever it all is, most of the time, and of course there is evergreens that perennially are in the spotlight, but most people, it comes to an end, and just being happy with that and at peace with that and saying, yeah, I did it. I became champion of the world. I defended the belt a number of times. Of course, try and become champion again, but having a little bit of acceptance like that, I think will help his mental fortitude. And there's me being really mature and intelligent.
Yeah, I know. I think you're right. And to be honest with you, Tyron is such an athletic, gifted fighter that it's like, look, the reality is he has to go back to the drawing board and sort of look at Usman in a different way. Obviously, that fight, whatever it was, it seemed like it wasn't even just a game plan thing. He was getting out wrestled. He was just getting beat in every area of the fight, and he just wasn't really able to do much. But I do think that Tyron's talented enough, and I believe that, when you have people that are that athletic, they can do a lot with their body, and they can maybe, step outside of his comfort zone and possibly change things up in a way. And to be honest with you, when somebody loses their belt, long reigns are great, but it's good to mix it up. It's good for that belt to change hands. It's a good thing to get all these matchups that we didn't have for so long because everyone was sort of clogged up. It's great from a marketing perspective. And Tyron now, he's always right there. Who knows if he's ever even going to have to face Usman again, because it might end up being somebody else.
It might end up being someone else. And do we know if the UFC are going to give him a title fight? Because he kind of went against the grain for a little bit, and that's not always the smartest thing. Just going back to what I said, though, Jason Perillo's father, about him, having a little bit of acceptance that everyone's time in the spotlight comes to the end. Jason Perillo, obviously the great Jason Perillo, my friend and coach, and your friend. His father was a motivational speaker, and he had this quote, and Jason has it saved on his phone. And if I'm getting it a little bit wrong, I apologize, but it's something like this, is that everything in life, shut up, Alfie, everything in life goes in cycles. You will never always be at the top, nor will you always be at the bottom. The beauty of this information is knowing that when you're at the top, to stay humble because your time will come to an end. And when you are at the bottom, stay positive because you know your time will come again. And I think it's a very, very good quote. But yeah, there you go. What's next question?
We got some more questions. Actually, Harrington is trying to pull up something. What is this, Harrington? I feel like this is more of a hammer fisting with Mike Harrington type of topic. What's
Production.
going on?
Well, no, directly into what Michael was saying about it not being Woodley's time in the sun anymore. Woodley's mom came up to Usman in the back and had a conversation with him. I didn't know if you'd seen that, and I was suggesting it might be a good time to play this video.
Yeah, no, play the video for those people that haven't seen it, and try and leave it on YouTube.
There you go.
This is lovely. Volume. All right. We need volume, guys. Jeez Louise, Harrington. All right, put it to the start.
It's your turn.
Here we go.
It's all good, honey. Rest your heart. It's all
Yeah, so that's Woodley's mom saying it's all good to Usman. It's your turn. It ain't his turn. It's your time. Be encouraged. You hear me? Keep working because they're coming for you.
It's all good.
You take it to him.
Man.
All right.
First time I see.
All right. So yeah, she congratulated him. That was very mature of Woodley's mom.
It was fantastic. It was beautiful. It really was, and you could see the emotion on Usman as well. He was, he was very upset. It's weird like that as humans. Sometimes when you hear the nicest things, it makes you cry. But yeah, a beautiful moment there between Usman and his opponent's mother, which is
Probably rare.
very nice. It was beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I agree. Good for Usman. He is going to be a handful for anybody to beat. That style is a motherfucker. And if he was able to out wrestle Tyron Woodley the way he was able to, it seems like he might be able to just do that to anybody that he wants to. Next question, Harrington. Do you have anything? Do you have any ideas about questions?
Well,
you have a bunch.
I've got one here from Naso Simplirades or something like that. Why is everybody so upset at Greg Hardy's illegal knee and not at Jones's 2 illegal knees? Interesting question.
I think they are. I think that people are. Also, Greg Hardy's a bad guy. So it's like he's a dude, that whole story about him with his ex-wife, and it's easy to hate that guy. He also leans into it with that. He's got a crazy look. He plays the bad guy. He's a scary dude. I think when you look at the sheer numbers of it, just because John Jones is substantially more popular, there's way more people shitting on John Jones for the illegal knee just because of the numbers alone. But I don't think that what's his name, Greg Hardy, has much fanfare to kind of counteract the people shitting on it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. 100%. You took the words out of my mouth, so I won't go over it again. But yeah, he's got the reputation of being a woman beater, and then he's cheating in the octagon on his first fight in the UFC. So yeah, not a good combination. Question number 3.
Hardy was just booked for another fight, right? Who is he booked
Yeah,
for?
that's right. Yeah. I forget someone.
Dmitry Smolyakov.
Okay, some dude.
Yeah. That's why I was like, who cares? It ain't going to be anyone we heard of. We're not breaking it down. Let's do the questions. This was billed as a question show. I'm assuming Harrington has questions to ask. Harrington, do you have questions to ask? Read, show, video, play with volume.
I got the first question's video question. And he's got pictures.
Shannon, hold on. Shannon, what's wrong? You don't look happy today. I see you scowling.
No. I think I'm dying soon. I think I'm.
Oh, she's sick. Yeah, she just told me she's coming in with the flu or something.
That's all. I'm not angry.
No. Do you know what that's called? You know what that's called? And I swear to God, I've had people messaging me this. You're coming off the kratom. Somebody said, mate, well, if you're going to use the kratom, mate.
She's not coming off it. She's fucking high as shit. You crazy?
Somebody said, make sure you tell Lewis and all the staff there, if they're on kratom, that's great, and it can actually be really good for you. But be careful when you come off it because it gives you flu-like symptoms.
Really?
It's called withdrawals. But you have to use it extensively and regularly for a long period of time,
Shannon,
like opiates.
Fine. Let me not get into it.
Yeah, you got to be like a full-on addict. But yeah, all right. Well, I thought you were looking a little stressed out, but it's nice to see the smile.
Shannon looks hot right now. Look at Shannon. Look how beautiful she looks.
She's done herself up today. You're looking good, Shannon. And our viewers appreciate it. They do. They always want more of the Shannon cam.
Thanks.
Yeah.
It's because I'm doing my show today, so I try to look a little cute.
Oh, what is your show's name, Shannon?
Oh, thank you for asking. My show is called The Thing Is, ding. And it's coming on right after the show, actually.
Fun. You get to listen to Shannon's show after this.
So that's why we're getting kicked out the
Don't you
studio,
dare,
because
Mike.
it's Shannon's show.
You dare.
You're kicking me out, and I'm going to be a guest on there soon. Sorry, Shannon.
yay.
I know you asked me. I think you sent me a text asking, and I may have forgot to respond,
Yeah,
and it wasn't
twice,
on purpose.
but that's okay.
No, I travel a lot. Maybe you sent it when I was in the air. I don't like what you're implying. I don't like the look on Lewis's face. Okay, how do we do this?
I'm going to bring Shannon out with me to LA when I come out in the beginning of April.
Oh, nice.
So we'll all hang out, and Shannon could produce a show out there, and you guys could do something.
Sounds good. Great. I'll get some good guests lined up. All right, let's do a question.
Go ahead, Harrington. Video question it is.
And with volume.
And
That's the whole point.
And with volume this time.
No volume.
My name is Aaron. I'm from Bridgend in South Wales. Massive fan of the podcast. Love listening to it on the way back and forth to work. So thank you so much for what you're doing. Please keep doing it. Big fan. My question is for both of you, really. Over the last 18 months or so, I've lost quite a lot of weight. I was just over 100 kilograms, and now I weigh about 75k. My question is how do you do that last bit of work just to get in shape? So I've done the fat loss bit. I just want to get that, that sort of chiseled look, just to get in a bit of shape. I'll be doing triathlon training. I'm training for a half Ironman at the end of this year and an Ironman next year. So yeah, just to sort of, can I get that final bit of tone? Mike, I think you mentioned that you do a detox to get down to your actual weight, or something you said like that. So just wondering what that process is and how you do that. Thank you. Also, if either of you are a fan of music, I'm a lead singer of a band called Fire Fences. If you could give us a listen.
I like him. He's a piece of shit. I like the fact that he threw it in there at the end. He's a piece of shit, but an opportunist. And I fucking love the fact that he did that, even though we're going to edit it out.
Yeah. Listen, if anybody downloads or listens or even has any cognizance of Fire Fences, you're banned from the show.
It's done.
Okay.
Shame bell.
No. He doesn't get the shame bell. Good for that guy. Number one, lost a lot of weight.
Very
now.
cool.
You can see a big difference, which isn't an easy thing to do. It really isn't. Anyone that struggles with weight, it's very hard. And, we talk about this quite a lot on this show. You just got to try and make some lifestyle changes. So he's asking to go from, he's lost the weight, but now he wants to get into that. I guess he's talking about maybe a super ripped stage where he's like fucking got the six pack and all that type of stuff. Yeah, well, it sounds to me like he's doing everything. He's training for a half marathon. He's doing triathlons, and he's doing an Ironman contest. That sounds like a lot of work. But you can't out-exercise a bad diet. If the diet is still really terrible, if you're eating a lot of carbs, a lot of processed sugar, things like that, you're still going to struggle to get the look that you want. So it looks like you are obviously... you know what you're doing with the diet by the looks of it because you've lost a lot of weight, or maybe you just started exercising more. But try and restrict the carbs. I mean, you're going to have some carbs, especially if you go and lift some weights. You need some carbs afterwards to recover and to, make those gains, bro. But, unnecessary carbs. Maybe try some intermittent fasting. A lot of people have success with that. Rebecca's doing that right now. That's where you fast for 8 hours a day. So she does 12. Oh, no, sorry. She only eats for 8 hours a day, pardon me. So she eats from midday to 8 p.m. After that, she's fasting, which apparently is very, very good for your body as well.
Yeah.
And very good for fighting cancer naturally, I believe. But yeah, I'm not sure what your workout regime is. Sounds like you got that covered. Just look at your diet, buddy. It looks like the diet is the one.
I mean, if I had a guess, I think this guy probably knows the diet's really important. You can't lose that much weight without actually having your diet be somewhat important, or you're not. It's 90% of it, in my opinion. And I've actually gone from being 330 pounds to getting down to less than 200 pounds and being in really, really good shape. I'm not in great shape now. I'm getting ripped, but it's a fucking process. I'm trying to do it naturally and fucking take my time and not kill myself with keto dieting and all this other bullshit. But what I think he's really talking about is to actually, have the muscle tone, take your shirt off, look good at the beach, have a nice. And what I learned losing weight and working out and doing various things throughout the years is that your body is extremely malleable. you can have the body that you want. Like if you want to have a big muscly body, well, there's certain limitations obviously, but if you want to have a bodybuilder body, there's a way to do it. You know, you have to stack weight. You have to actually, you know, the way you lift, there's a specific way to do it. You have to do drop sets. You have to really tear the muscle fibers, build them up in a certain way, eat a lot of protein. If you want to have a swimmer's body, the reason they call it a swimmer's body is because you're swimming a lot, right? That's a different type of lean. So what I think you should do is look at the type of body that you want. Go to your gym. This is a great piece of advice. Go to your gym, look at the personal trainer that has the body that you want to look like. And then take a couple sessions with him and ask him some advice on the type of workout that he does. And you have the ability to change your body. It's way easier than you think. It's going to take some time, but that will be the way to achieve the results you're looking for.
That is good advice. I sign off on that. And what I was going to say as you were talking, we don't know if he's doing any resistance training. You know, you got to build those muscles. You got to work. It's
probably
those
not.
Muscles. No, it sounds like he's doing a ton of cardio stuff. For a triathlete, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, you're using your muscles, you know, and running half marathons. That's fantastic. It really is good for him. It's very, very healthy. But you got to do the resistance training as well. And it sounds like that's maybe what's lacking there, you know. Yeah. So
it's weight training.
Go find a good gym. Go find a good gym. And as you said, you just take, if you can afford it, great. If not, look online. If you go online, if you go on bodybuilding.com, that's a great website. Great website for people that are kind of novices and they're looking for inspiration of what to do in the gym. Bodybuilding.com has all kinds of stuff on there. So yeah, check it out and go lift some weights. Get some resistance training of some sort to supplement all the cardio training that you're doing. Yeah, good question. All right, next one. Let's go.
And also complimenting that guy on his production quality of his question. He had pictures in. He had fucking annotations. Yeah. It was good. He went above and beyond.
In fact, Fire Fences. Download the album today.
Let's hear it. Can we hear it? Can we play it for a second? You don't want to hear it.
Nobody wants to hear it. Listen, they've had me going on about fucking plastic and lecturing the world. They've had the same old bullshit at the start, you know. So they're like, oh god, now we're gonna listen to Fire Fences. I mean, how bad is
He's out of breath.
I like it.
I do like it. It's pretty good.
It's not bad.
Talented
It's
band.
actually pretty good. Fire Fences, check them out. Coming to an empty bar near you at some point soon in the local area. No, but that's how you start. When I started as a DJ, I was DJing nowhere. Then I started off in this pub. And then, you know, you work your way up. That's what you do. I turned this pub. It was more into like a pumping nightclub by the end of it. We extended the back and we got fucking all kinds of lights and smoke and everything. And they loved it because it got rammed, it got packed. But then it started getting known as like the wrong type of crowd, you know. Yeah. And then, but I remember one time towards the end, the landlord, Dave, came up to me and went, "You've ruined this pub, you have." I was like, "You what?" I never said it. I didn't respond, but in my mind, I'm like, listen, motherfucker, you haven't minded for the last 7 years when I've had this place banging and busy, you know. But now, because, you know, there's a select clientele that are all coming in raving and misbehaving, I've ruined the fucking pub. Yeah. Shame on you, dickhead.
Mike, really quick, we should talk about Blue Chew, who I love. It's a really incredible company. If you guys don't know, Blue Chew is the chewable male performance enhancement drug for the bedroom. Same active ingredients as Viagra or Cialis, except way better because you get to chew it. It has got a delicious flavor. You know, I love candy, Mr. Bisping. And there's no weird, you know, conversation with your doctor. You don't have to go to the pharmacy and wait in line. You don't have to have that weird exchange with somebody because you're buying anything. Even if I buy condoms, I feel weird when there's a girl behind the counter. This is super discreet, comes right to your door in discreet packaging. It really works as well. Mr. Bisping, all I know is that my girlfriend is probably the biggest fan of Blue Chew in the world because it just makes sex better overall, makes you last longer, makes it, I would say, I don't want to get too graphic on the show. There are some kids that listen to it, but if you are sexually active, it will change your experience in the bedroom. And I really, really mean that. I'm not lying about that. I use Blue Chew regularly. I have a prescription. You do it all online. It's nice and easy.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody yesterday and they were saying, oh yeah, I know this guy. I go to him for my Viagra. I said, what do you mean? He said, I go to him for my Viagra and it's still pretty expensive. I'm like, why would you do that? And he's talking about going to some like dodgy drug dealer for Viagra. I said, BlueChew.com. Yeah, it's so weird in this day and age that you would do that. I told him all about Blue Chew, and it's super easy. You don't even need a doctor's appointment or any of the stuff. And it's the same ingredients as Cialis and Viagra, as we said. It's completely chewable, and they're prescribed online. Just fill in the form. It's super, super easy. So, of course, we've got a great deal. Go to BlueChew.com. Blue is in the color, chew.com, BlueChew.com. And place your first order, which will be absolutely free. That's right. We're giving you immense hard-ons and an erectile boost for free. Okay? Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. You can have it. We're giving it to you for free. All you got to do is pay $5 shipping. But you got to put in the promo code BELIEVE. So once again, go to BlueChew.com, pick out what you want to use, and it's free, courtesy of us. Just use the promo code BELIEVE, pay us $5 shipping, and you, your lady, your man, your significant other will be very, very happy. BlueChew.com. All right. Next question.
Go ahead.
I'm pulling this one from the Gas Digital chat. If you guys are cool with that.
Sure. Yeah. Live chat. If you guys are subscribers, you get the live chat as well.
Cheech Capone wants to know if you guys heard about the potential Johnny Walker versus Alexander Gustafsson fight and what you think about it.
I did hear about that.
I did. And whilst I admire Johnny Walker's cojones for calling out such an incredible fighter, and it's a fight that he could definitely win, I think perhaps maybe a little step too far. I'm not saying that he can't beat him. I'm just saying, in boxing, and they take it to the extreme, but in boxing, they nurture their fighters and they build them up and they match them up correctly. All right, to a certain degree in boxing, they feed them absolute cans their entire career, and then they build these records of 30-0, and it's only then they start fighting real competition, and that's bullshit. And the thing in the UFC, they always say, the best fight the best and all the rest of it. Not necessarily all the time these days, but I do think that MMA fighters and their managers in particular could learn a little bit from the boxing model. And don't rush them on too quick. I mean, Alexander Gustafsson was just in a world title fight, and he's fought John Jones for a world title fight before. Alexander Gustafsson is one of the best people in the UFC that have never held a belt. And he's very tall, so he can nullify the height advantage of Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker's a star of tomorrow. He has all the makings. He's been flawless in all of his fights, very exciting, could be a big fan favorite. He's got a lot of personality, and he might go and fight Alexander Gustafsson and knock him out as well, just like he's knocked everybody else out. Or the risk is he goes out there and he fights someone that just has way more experience in big fights, and he gets handled. We don't know what Johnny Walker's like in rounds 2 and 3, let alone 5, because that would be a main event. Now he's going to go 5 rounds against Alexander Gustafsson. As I said, he may win that, but there's also a possibility that he fucking loses. And then it's like, oh, okay, we've just blown our wad on that. We've just wasted a potential huge star.
Yeah. It's weird because I don't know. I mean, if you're Johnny Walker's team, do you want him to... There's like 2 things there. Do you want him to sort of build his worth more and come along slowly? Or do you want him to kind of explode, get a huge fight? He beats Alexander Gustafsson. He was a star right there. Boom, done. You're immediately a star. You're immediately right there for talks of a title shot. What is the better path? I mean, I guess, who knows? I guess it's really, you have to sort of make that choice, and your team has to make that choice. Well, it seems like, go ahead, sorry.
No, you're good. Sorry, I was going to shut up and not interrupt. The better path is to take your time, get more and more experience. He still hasn't been outside the first round in the UFC, So whilst I'm saying, well, we saw him go 3 rounds on the Contender Series, but other than that, in the UFC, they've all been quick finishes, which is fantastic. But you've got to have those fights where you've got to really dig deep and test yourself and test your mettle and fight through adversity, and he hasn't done that yet. And of course, with his talent, it might be very hard for him to actually experience that. But Gustafsson's been there, done that. He's got all that experience on his side, and I'm not saying he can't beat him. There's a very good
Alexander's
possibility.
Also such a high level kickboxer that it's not. I don't think it's going to be the quick flash knockout that we've seen. It's not the type of
And on top of it, they're talking about that happening in Sweden, which, by the way, I'd be remiss if I didn't give Alexander Gustafsson some props as well. I mean, we don't know if the fight's happening, but I hear a rumor of it. And if Gustafsson has accepted that, then that shows a lot of balls on the side of Gustafsson. Because remember, last time Gustafsson fought in Sweden, in Stockholm, it was against Anthony Johnson. And Anthony Johnson floored him and knocked him out pretty quick in the first round. I think it was like 20, 30 seconds, and that had to hurt for Gustafsson. So now, here he is. He's got another fight in Sweden, and they're like, oh, we're sending over Johnny Walker. Yeah, the guy that's just knocking out fucking everybody right now with flying knees and spinning wheel kicks and shit. Yeah, good luck. There you go. And if he does accept that, again, Gustafsson's a G. Well, he's a G anyway,
but what does Gustafsson do, though? Because when he just lost to John Jones again, he's in a weird position because you only get so many title shots. He's lost to Daniel Cormier, he's lost to John Jones. What else do you do? I mean, at this point, you sort of have to say, shit, I have to be the guy who's going to take any fight they put in front of me, the guy that kills the new young killer that's supposed to come out. It's sort of, there's not many other moves, but he can't really hold himself to this regard as so he's either accepts the fact that he's a gatekeeper or he tries to kill those guys that are supposed to be the best of the best and eventually chip away and earn yourself back there because he's almost fought everybody else at 205.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It is a difficult spot for him because, and I say this with respect, I think it's fair to say he's lost to Gustafsson. Sorry, pardon me. Lost to Cormier and lost to Jones twice. So he can't beat those guys. Now, Cormier's gone up to heavyweight and he's going to be gone out of the light heavyweight division probably for good now. Said he's never going back down. And Jones is flirting with heavyweight. So, he could be that guy. He could still take on some fights at light heavyweight and wait for them to piss off and then pick up the pieces and become champion. Or, he's a big guy and he cuts weight to get to 205. Move up to heavyweight. Say, fuck it, I'm going up. He's got the height, he's got the size, he's got the reach. Pack on some muscle to that frame. Yeah. I could see him being a very, very effective heavyweight as well. So he's got some options.
It seems like there is a lot of these 205ers now. I guess that's sort of like a new life at heavyweight. We weren't seeing it as much. I guess Anthony Rumble Johnson was the one we saw go up.
Yeah, well, we were seeing it with Thiago Santos. The middleweight went up to light heavyweight, and he's knocking out everybody. He's going to be fighting Jones soon. We saw it with TJ Dillashaw going down to 125. The problem is when you're trying to cut weight so much, it has such a detrimental effect on your body. It really does. You're minimizing carbohydrate. You're running every day. You're overtraining. Of course, you have a team around you and you might consult with a nutritionist and stuff. But when you get out of bed every morning, well, I know I do. And this, by the way, always pisses me off. I see these people, when they miss weight, they blame their team around them. Your team around you are not with you 24/7, okay? And they don't control everything you put in your body. They're not standing there monitoring you in your kitchen at night. If you go and have a couple of little scoops of ice cream or you go, I'll have a cookie, I'll be good. And they're sure as hell not there, or maybe they do in this modern day and age, maybe that you are sharing a bed with your coach and that's cool. But if they're not, and then when you get out of bed in the morning as a fight and you're training for a fight, here's the first thing that you always do. Here's what I do. You walk to the bathroom, you take the biggest piss you can and you squeeze it out, okay? And it's always a good long one. You have your nice big long piss and you go straight to the scale. And you get on that scale every morning and you look and you either go, great, this is good. Or you go, fuck, Jesus Christ. I am not on track. I know where I should be at this time. And if they're not on track, that's their fault, but then they go and blame the nutritionist and all the rest of it. You should go to your nutritionist and say, hey, buddy, whatever's going on, it ain't working because I'm not losing the weight. But anyway, went off on a tangent there. Should we, next question?
Yeah, we get a couple more in here. What's going on? Do we have any more video questions, Harrington? Yeah, let's go to another video question. We always love
you got like 15 minutes, right? 10, 5. Yes, we're gonna do ads. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's make this the last one, and this is a bonus one anyway. We're doing another show on Saturday. So, Harrington,
ready to go?
Ooh.
My name's Jesse Ross from Milltown, New York. Really big fan of you guys, especially you, Bisping. Been following you almost your whole entire career. Just quick question. What do you guys think about Cody Garbrandt? Do you think he should maybe get a new camp, since the departure of his coach, Justin Bolsholtz? left. He hasn't really been doing good. Kind of just swings for the fences instead of using his skills. Just let me know. Big fan, guys. Take care.
All right.
Couple of things, just because people like it when we rip on Harrington. Why is it every time we press start, they're always on mute? Harrington.
Is there an answer?
Harrington?
It's on mute because I have to put his audio through on my side, so it's always muted during the show.
Yeah, there's a reason. Yeah, there's a reason.
It's because someone's a moron. I'm joking.
You're calling Shannon
I'm joking.
a moron, by the way. You're talking to shit.
All right, guys.
Shots
so my show
fired,
has to
shots
start
fired.
now.
Okay. You know what? To be honest, for the guy, and thank you for the question. I appreciate it. The problem with what he said, though, is that I disagree. He's saying he should go to another camp and he's not using all his skills. He's just booked a title fight. He's fighting Tyrone Woodley. Prior to that, he beat Damian Maia and he beat whoever without looking at his resume. He's on a good tear right now.
Cody Garbrandt.
Oh, pardon me. I'm thinking of Colby Covington. Cody Garbrandt. Oh, shit. Yeah. Yeah, I think we touched on this the other day. Cody's in a tough spot right now. Listen, he needs to make some changes. He fights with his heart. Listen, against Dominic Cruz, he looked sensational. He looked absolutely masterful. He schooled and pimped Dominic Cruz all day. Then against TJ, got knocked out. He got a little angry in the fight and thought, fuck it, let's brawl. Got knocked out. Then they rematched and he said, fuck it, let's brawl. Got knocked out again. Let his emotions get the better of him. That's 2 knockouts in a row. Takes a little bit of time, comes back, fights Pedro Munoz. He's doing okay. But then he just started swinging with his chin out in the air and swinging from his waist almost. And when you've just been knocked out twice in your last 2 fights, you got to use a little more skill. You got to tuck that chin, have your hands up, have a good defense, use some good head movement and pick your shots. Don't be so reckless. Don't be so wild. But that's what he did. And now he's been knocked out 3 times in a row. And whilst the physicalities of that are very dangerous and whilst there may be some concussions and things like that, and I hope there isn't, the mental side of things for the rest of his career don't bode very well either. He's going to take some time off and he's going to rest his brain, rest his body, and maybe speak to a sports psychologist. I don't know if changing teams is necessarily the right thing, but he definitely needs to change his style. When I say change his style, I mean lose the recklessness, lose the swinging with reckless abandon and just trying to put on a show. You got to box. You got to box. It's the sweet science. It's the art of hitting without getting hit. It's not the art of throw your chin in the air and swing like a motherfucker and make this super exciting. That one thing happens. Either they get knocked out or you get knocked out. And a lot of the time, and history has shown his last 3 fights, he's the one getting knocked out. And I'm a fan of Cody. And his fight was electrifying on Saturday night. It was. But it was sad to see him finished on the floor and knocked out again. And I don't want to see that again. So what I'm saying comes from love.
He said he was doing it because of the headbutt, I guess.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. You still got to keep your composure. You got to stay composed in there. Once the composure has gone, then you're just fighting on aggression and will. And that isn't the way to fight. You've got to be cool, calm, composed, collected, all the C's. And you really do. You got to be chilling there. As much of a wild situation it is, you've got to be composed and just seeing everything and not reacting on emotion. So yeah, if you headbutted him, whatever, c'est la vie, say fuck it. Get on with the fight.
Yeah, I mean, weird position to be in, 3 in a row. And he went from being what looked like, possibly, one of the best fighters in the world, pound for pound. People are talking about him like he's the next king. And then falling, a really quick fall from grace. A few fights later, you're like, holy shit. Have we ever seen anybody go from being the dude to being in this position that quickly? I don't even know.
Yeah, exactly. When you think about it, he's 2 fights to TJ Dillashaw. Of course, TJ became the champion, and TJ's great. That's all well and good. Pedro Munoz, whilst I know, as one of the best analysts in the business, that he is a hell of a fighter, for the fan perception, he's not exactly a household name in MMA. And then he's getting knocked out against Pedro Munoz as well. So he's definitely, his stock has taken a massive tumble for sure. But I'm assuming that's the end of the show right now. So we'll wrap it up because we are short on time today, guys. Gas Digital Studios just popping off all over the place and don't even have time for my show anymore. You know, I mean, it is what it is. I'm a little offended. I'm a little annoyed. You know, I want to keep going and give back to the fans, but Lewis doesn't want to. You know,
I don't. It's really about me, guys. I take, and just line in my pockets. What am I going to do?
Nah. Well, we'll talk about it on the next show.
Guys,
Saturday.
Saturday.
Thanks for listening. Go to iTunes, go to YouTube, subscribe, leave a review, do all that good stuff. Thanks for listening. We appreciate you very, very much. Until next time.
Adios.